So this is how I ganache my cakes using ganache plates, acrylic ganache plates. So I've got a top and a bottom one. The top one I'm going to attach some greaseproof paper to so that it doesn't get stuck to the cake. And then on the bottom one I'm going to cover it in a little bit of ganache and stick my crumb coated cake on top. You want to make sure that there's equal distance all the way around your cake so that you get a nice even coating. So I'm just taking my scraper and making sure that we're nice and straight and everything's in line. Then we're going to start filling in between the ganache plates and making sure that there's a nice smooth coating all the way around, filling in all the air bubbles and gaps. This takes a bit of time, but stick with it, you'll get there. As a caker, you know that a lot of time goes into cakes. At the end of this video, it cuts off to me just popping it in the fridge, but just a tip, leave it in the fridge for 15-20 minutes, half an hour, and then to remove the ganache plates you just want to run a craft knife around the edges and they should just pop off. You will have to flip your cake to remove the bottom ganache plate, but with ganache it's set so firm that you can basically chuck your cake around. So I'm just going around with my white chocolate ganache, getting it all over the cake. You're going to whack a dollop on top. Not everything has to be smooth and level at this point, because with the ganache plates, that's the beauty of it. Stick the ganache plates on and it all comes together. So the greaseproof paper wants to be touching the top of the cake so that obviously when you pop them off at the end it shouldn't stick to your cake. So I'm just getting my scraper. This is super important. Make sure that your top and your bottom ganache plate are both touching the scraper, then you know that you've got a nice straight cake. So in comes my industrial size level. So pop this on the top, making sure that your top ganache plate and the top of your cake is level. Sometimes I find that you have to make sure that there's plenty of ganache around the top edges, securing that top plate to get it level. So just play around with it a bit to get to where you want. And then when you're happy with it, pop it back on your turntable. Turntables make your life so much easier, by the way. And just get those bad boy holes filled in. And this will take a few steps, scraping, filling, scraping, filling, but you'll get there. So this is white chocolate ganache I'm using, and it's a 3-to-1 ratio for white chocolate. So 300 mils of cream to 900 grams of white chocolate. I think I had to double up the recipe for my big 8-inch, because as you can see my 8-inch is quite tall. So just keep going around the cake. As you can see, I'm checking every opportunity I get to make sure that the ganache plates haven't moved a little, because sometimes they can slide about. So just get your scraper and make sure that the top and the bottom are always touching the scraper and your top is remaining level. So again, just fill, scrape, fill, scrape, fill, scrape. And when you're happy with it, just do one big scrape all the way around the cake, and that'll make sure that there's no sort of stop and start lines with your scraper. And then once you're happy with it and everything's filled, pop it in the fridge, wait for the magic to happen, and hopefully, voila! Good luck!